Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something fascinating. The world of the DJ.
Yeah, it's more than just playing tracks, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about
Yeah.
being a sonic architect,
Yeah.
taking a whole crowd on this electrifying journey with sound, seamless mixing, building energy.
It's a real craft and honestly quite captivating. But for someone starting out, just listening on the dance floor,
Right.
making that leap to being the one in control, that can feel, well, pretty daunting. Almost like learning magic, as our source puts it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Our sources definitely highlight this blend of things.
Yeah.
You need that curatorial sense, the technical chops, and that stage presence, too.
It's a trifecta, really. Deep musical knowledge, precise technique, and connecting with the room.
And that transition, observer to controller, it feels like a big jump.
Yeah.
Especially, when you see the price tags on some of that pro gear.
Definitely. So our mission today in this deep dive is to basically break it all down, make it less intimidating.
We're using a really great guide by Javier B. It meticulously unpacks the mental side and the technical prep needed.
And what I found interesting about Javier B., the author, is how he describes himself. A DJ en crecimiento, a DJ still growing.
Which feels very honest.
Yeah, acknowledges it's a continuous learning thing. But he's also a fisioterapeuta en formación, training to be a physiotherapist.
That's fascinating. It really shows you, doesn't it? This passion, this DJing thing, it can absolutely exist alongside, a demanding career or studies.
Exactly. It's super encouraging for anyone listening who thinks they don't have the time or it's like an all-or-nothing deal.
Right. You don't have to drop everything. So this analysis should give you a clear roadmap, step by step, to turn that love of music into actual practical skills.
And we're starting right at the beginning, the foundations, before you even think about touching any equipment.
Okay, so first things first, the mindset.
Yeah, before you spend a dime, the guide really pushes this. Why? Why do you actually want to be a DJ?
Because if it's just about, looking cool or getting famous.
Or free drinks, yeah. The source is pretty clear. That kind of motivation, it won't sustain you. You'll likely hit a wall pretty fast.
The technical side is just too demanding, right?
Yeah.
It needs a deeper drive.
Totally. It has to come from a genuine love for the music itself. And crucially, this desire to share it, to curate that whole sound experience for other people.
It's almost a selfless thing when you put it like that. You're working for the crowd.
You really are. Trying to weave that perfect sonic narrative that connects everyone out there. It's not just about playing your favorite songs.
It's about being a musical narrator.
Exactly. Think about it.
Right.
You're building a story through the night. You introduce tracks like characters, build tension, hit that climax with the drop.
And then ease them into the next part.
Right. If you don't have that deep down desire to communicate through sound, through vibrations, then all the technical stuff just becomes, well, a chore.
Instead of tools for expression.
Precisely. Which leads us nicely into these two stages of development that pretty much every DJ goes through.
Ah, yes, the classic path.
The bedroom DJ phase and then the club DJ.
The bedroom DJ sounds cozy, but it's essential, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely critical. It gets romanticized, but it's where the real work happens. Intensive practice, total freedom to experiment.
And importantly, freedom to mess up.
Yes. That's your lab, your safe space. You make those terrible mixes, the clashing EQs, the awkward transitions, but nobody hears it except you.
Builds resilience, I guess, and muscle memory.
Loads of it. You try different genres, figure out what works, what doesn't. That isolation builds genuine confidence for when you do play out.
Which brings us to the club DJ stage.
Right. That's where you apply everything you learned, but it demands more. You've got to adapt fast, maybe the gear is different, higher-end CDJs, a mixer you haven't used.
Plus dealing with a live crowd's energy.
And the sound system, the acoustics of the room, maybe technical glitches. The solid foundation from the bedroom phase is what lets you handle that pressure. You can't just skip it.
Okay, so mindset is key. Practice starts at home. How do we actually begin the training part? It starts with listening, apparently.
Yes, active listening. Before you even touch a controller, you need to train your ears. A great DJ is fundamentally a great music curator.
And that means listening differently than just for enjoyment.
Way differently. You're dissecting the music, looking for its bones, its structure, the potential mixing points.
Okay, so what are we listening for specifically? Tempo first.
Yep. Tempo, measured in BPM beats per minute, basically how fast the song is. Absolutely fundamental for matching beats later on. You need to know those numbers.
But structure is maybe even more important for mixing.
I'd say so. Active listening really means understanding the architecture. Most dance music, whether it's house, techno, whatever, It's built in blocks, often 32-beat phrases.
Counting the bars. Those cycles of 8 bars, usually.
Exactly. Music builds and releases tension in these predictable cycles. And the key moments for mixing, they almost always happen right at the start of a new 32-beat phrase.
Makes sense. So you need to identify the main parts.
Right. The intro usually sparse, rhythmic, easy to layer. The breakdown where the drums often drop out, building tension.
The drop boom. The energy release.
Yep. And the outro fading out, often rhythmic again, perfect for mixing out of. Knowing where these are, ideally marking them in your software.
Takes the guesswork out of it.
Completely. Turns mixing into a strategic, planned process, not just hoping for the best.
Okay, so mindset sorted, listening skills getting honed. Now, the hardware question. The big one for beginners. Do you really need that huge, expensive setup?
Absolutely not. That's the good news. You don't need a festival-grade console to start learning.
Phew.
Your focus should be on something accessible, portable, affordable, easy to connect. And that means the DJ controller.
The beginner's best friend, right?
Totally. It basically mimics the traditional setup, 2 turntables or Platos, and a mixer all in one unit that plugs into your computer via USB.
And gives you that hands-on feel, which is important.
Crucial. You're learning the physical movements that translate to pro gear, but without breaking the bank. The source mentions a few solid starter options.
Yeah, the Pioneer DDJ FLX4, Newmark Mixtrack Pro FX, and the Reloop Ready. Popular choices.
And they give you everything you need at the start. Volume control, EQs, basic effects. Enough to learn the fundamentals.
So the controller is the interface, but the engine is the software on the computer.
Exactly. The DJ software is where your music lives, where tracks get analyzed, and where the digital mixing actually happens.
Now, this seems like a big decision early on. Which software to choose? The source really emphasizes thinking long-term here.
It does. And it strongly, really strongly recommends Rekordbox if your goal is eventually playing in clubs.
Why Rekordbox specifically?
It's all about the ecosystem. Pioneer DJ gear, specifically their CDJs, are the industry standard in probably 95% of clubs worldwide.
Ah, okay.
Those CDJs run on Pioneer's system. So if you learn Rekordbox, analyze your tracks in Rekordbox, make your playlists in Rekordbox.
It all transfers seamlessly when you show up at a club with just a USB stick.
Bingo. Your whole library, cue points, everything is ready to go on professional gear. You're basically prepping for the pro environment from day one.
That makes a lot of sense. It saves headaches down the line. But there are other options too, right?
Oh, definitely. Commitment to one platform and mastering it is key, though. Serato DJ, both light and pro versions, is huge. Really stable, great interface, big in the turntablism world, too.
What about Tractor?
Tractor from Native Instruments,
Yeah.
often favored by people interested in, like, live remixing or getting deep into effects. It integrates well with other production gear.
And Virtual DJ.
Virtual DJ is known for being super intuitive, maybe the quickest way to get started mixing right away. Powerful features, but maybe less of an industry standard connection than Rekordbox or Serato.
So choose one. Stick with it.
Okay.
What about other gear? Headphones are obviously essential.
Non-negotiable. Your audiphonos, your headphones, maybe the most vital tool after the controller for learning, because you need them for CUEing, pre-listening.
Right. Hearing the next track before the audience does?
Exactly. So they need to be comfortable because you'll wear them for hours practicing. And crucially, they need good noise isolation. You have to hear that CUE track clearly over the main speakers.
If you can't hear the CUE properly, you can't beat match by ear.
Nope. Game over. And then the main sound output. Your altvoses, the speakers.
Do they need to be super fancy studio monitors?
Not initially, but the source uses a good word. They need to be honest.
Honest, meaning flat. No crazy boost.
Precisely. A faithful, flat frequency response. If you practice on speakers that hype the bass, your mixes might sound great at home.
But fall apart on a big, neutral club system.
Exactly. You'll get a nasty surprise. Your mix will sound thin or boomy or just wrong. So honest, even if inexpensive, is better.
Makes sense. And lastly, the computer itself. Seems obvious, but...
Yeah, don't overlook it. Your computer needs to meet the minimum specs for the software you choose. We're talking RAM, usually 8 GB minimum, and a decent CPU.
Because if it's underpowered, lag. Yeah. Crashes.
Both. The main enemy is latency. That delay between you hitting a button on the controller and the software actually doing it.
Which would kill your timing for beat matching.
Instantly. Even a few milliseconds of lag is noticeable when you're trying to sync beats perfectly. And a software crash mid-set, well, That's the ultimate nightmare. So a capable computer is essential for smooth, reliable performance.
All right, we got the gear, the mindsets right. Now we get into the nitty-gritty, the actual techniques, mastering the controls.
Yep, time to build that muscle memory. Let's break down the anatomy of the controller. First up, those big round things. The jog wheels or Play-Dohs.
Simulating the turntables, what are they primarily for?
Fine-tuning speed. Making tiny, precise adjustments to get tracks perfectly in sync. You can also use them to nudge the track forward or backward slightly to align the beats. Or for scratching, of course.
And there's often different modes for them, right? Like vinyl mode.
That's a key point. CDJ mode might just adjust pitch when you spin the edge, but touching the top stops it, like a CD player pause. Vinyl mode makes the top surface act like a record. Touch it, it stops or scratches. Use the edge to nudge. Understanding how your controller is set is crucial.
Got it. Then the volume controls, the sliders.
You've got the vertical channel faders, one for each track, controlling its individual volume, and the horizontal crossfader sliding between channel A and channel B.
Which one do people use more?
Depends on the genre, really. Hip-hop DJs might use the crossfader a lot for quick cuts and scratches. In house and techno, you often see DJs using the channel faders more for longer, smoother, more gradual blends.
Okay. And above those, the knobs that look kind of scary, the EQ.
The equalizador, your sonic scalpel. Not
Yeah.
scary, just powerful. Usually you'll have gain first that sets the input level before mixing, make sure it's not clipping.
Right, setting the baseline volume.
Then the frequency controls. Altos, highs or treble, medios, mids, where vocals usually sit, and the really important one for mixing. Graves or bajos, lows, the bass and sub-bass.
And mastering this EQ is key to avoid audio disasters.
Pretty much. It's how you make tracks fit together smoothly. Which brings us to the absolute cornerstone skill, beat match.
The big one. If you can't do this, you can't really DJ right.
Fundamentally, no. Beat matching is the art of getting two separate songs to play at the exact same speed, the same tempo, BPM, and locked in rhythm, so they sound like one continuous piece.
Technology helps with BPM counters, but the real skill is using your ears.
Ideally, yes, though the visual aids are helpful. But you need to master two main physical controls to do it. First, adjusting the overall speed.
That's the pitch control, usually that long slider.
Correct, the pitch fader. If track A is 125 BPM and track B is 126, you use track B's pitch fader to slow it down until it also reads 125 BPM. That matches the tempo.
Okay, tempos match, but they might still sound off like galloping horses.
Exactly, that's the second part, synchronization. Getting the beats, specifically the kick drums, the bombo, to hit at the exact same time. Even if the BPMs match, they can be out of phase.
And that's where the jog wheel comes in again.
Yep. You use the jog wheel for those tiny nudges. A slight push forward or pull back until thump thump becomes thump. It's about aligning the downbeats perfectly. We're talking micro adjustments.
Milliseconds count here.
Absolutely. If you're even slightly off, you get that horrible flam or galloping sound, ruins the flow completely.
So how on earth do you practice these tiny, precise moves without the audience hearing you fumble?
Ah, the secret weapon. The pre-escucha, or the CUE function, your best friend when learning.
The button that sends the sound only to your headphones.
Exactly. You press the CUE button for the incoming track, track B, and it plays only in your headphones. The main speakers are still just playing track A.
So you can sit there, headphones on, fiddling with the pitch fader, nudging the jog wheel.
Adjusting levels, getting it perfectly matched, all in private. The audience hears nothing until you choose to bring that track into the mix. It's how you build confidence and nail the technique without pressure.
Okay, that makes total sense. Now, controllers these days have more than just jog wheels and faders. Those colorful pads, performance pads.
Right. Those add a whole other layer of creativity, often overlooked by beginners just focused on basic mixing.
What can you do with them?
Usually 4 main things: hot cues, loops, effects like rolls, and sometimes a sampler. Let's focus on the first 2 for now.
Okay, hot cues, what are those?
Think of them as extra starting points within a track. You set markers maybe at the start of a vocal, the beginning of the main synth line, a cool drum hit. Then you can instantly jump to that exact spot just by hitting the corresponding pad.
So you could trigger a vocal snippet from one track over the beat of another.
Exactly. It allows for really dynamic, on-the-fly remixing and rearranging. Super powerful.
And loops.
Also essential. Loops let you repeat a section of the track seamlessly, maybe 4 beats, 8 beats, 16 beats. Let's say you need a bit more time to mix in the next track perfectly.
You can loop the last phrase of the current track to give yourself that extra time.
Precisely. It keeps the energy going, maintains the flow, buys you crucial seconds without any awkward silence. Great for extending intros or outros, too.
Cool. So beat match locked, maybe using loops.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the actual transition, you mentioned the EQ being key for a smooth transition, the golden rule.
Yes, the polished transition rule. This is all about managing frequencies, especially the low end, the bass.
Why the bass specifically?
Because bass frequencies carry the most energy. If you have two bass lines playing fully at the same time, they clash. They fight each other sonically.
Creates that muddy sound the source mentioned.
Exactly. It sounds thick, indistinct, unprofessional. It's called phase cancellation sometimes, and it just drains the power from the mix. The audience notices immediately.
So how do we avoid the mud?
Strategic EQ swapping. The golden rule is, as you start bringing in the new track, track B, you must have its lows graves EQ knob turned all the way down, killed completely.
So the audience only hears the mids and highs of the new track initially.
Right. They barely notice it sneaking in over track A. Then, as you slowly raise the volume fader for track B,
You start swapping the bass lines.
precisely, you gradually turn up the bass knob on track B while simultaneously turning down the bass knob on the outgoing track A, usually over, say, 8 or 16 beats.
So you're smoothly handing over the low-end energy.
You got it. Ensuring only one dominant bass line is hitting the sound system at any moment. That's the secret to those seamless, undetectable mixes that sound so effortless.
Okay, mastering the controller, nailing the EQs. That's huge. But it doesn't matter how good your technique is if your music library is a mess, right?
Couldn't agree more. The source is emphatic. A DJ is only as good as their collection, and just having the music isn't enough.
You need organization.
Yeah.
Serious organization.
Yeah, this is where you shift from being just an artist to being an information manager almost, just dumping tracks into a folder on your hard drive that's not going to cut it live.
And you need to use the tools within the DJ software.
Absolutely. Meticulous organization. We're talking detailed playlists, not just by genre, but maybe by vibe, like warm-up, peak time, after hours, or by energy level, by BPM range, even by musical key for harmonic mixing.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work up front.
It is, but it pays off massively. Think about it. You're in the booth, the energy shifts, you need the perfect track right now. You might only have like 2 seconds to find it.
Scrolling through thousands of unorganized tracks is impossible then.
Totally impossible. Good organization saves you critical seconds and stress in that high-pressure moment. It's a tactical advantage.
And the quality of those tracks matters too.
Yeah.
The source is really strong on this. No dodgy downloads.
Zero tolerance for low-quality or pirated music, for 2 reasons. Ethics, obviously, but also sound quality.
Why is file quality so critical?
Because club sound systems are incredibly revealing. Low-quality MP3s, like anything under 320 kilobps, use compression that throws away audio data. You might not hear it on earbuds.
But blast it through a massive PA system.
And all those missing frequencies and compression artifacts become painfully obvious. Harsh highs, weak bass, just bad sound. The audience will notice.
Well, there's the standard. 320 kilobps MP3s minimum.
Yep. That's generally considered the minimum acceptable quality for professional use. Or even better, lossless formats like WAV or FLAC, though they take up more space. Clarity is key.
Okay, so where do we get these high-quality legal tracks?
Several good options. Beatport is huge, specifically geared towards DJs, often offering tracks with extended intros and outros, perfect for mixing.
Right.
Bandcamp is fantastic because you directly support artists, and they usually offer high-quality downloads like FLAC or WAV with purchase.
Good for discovering independent stuff, too.
Definitely. And for DJs playing more mainstream or commercial stuff, there are professional record pool services. You pay a subscription, and you get access to a huge library of promotional tracks, often radio edits and clean versions.
Okay, so we've got the good quality tracks. Now we need to prep them before a gig.
Yes. Preset track preparation.
Yeah.
Don't do this live. Every single track needs to be run through your DJ software before you play it out.
What did that involve? Analyzing BPM?
Verifying the BPM, yes.
Wait.
And also letting the software analyze the harmonic key of the track.
Ah, for harmonic mixing. Playing tracks that are musically compatible.
Exactly. Mixing tracks in keys that work well together, like going from C major to A minor, or G major just sounds smoother, richer, less jarring than clashing keys. The software helps identify these compatible keys.
Smart. And setting markers. Cue points.
Essential time savers. These are your bookmarks within the track's waveform. You should set at least a main cue point where you want the track to start.
Maybe you want it the first beat of the intro.
Yeah, or even just before it. And definitely set cues at key moments. The start of the main drop, maybe a good vocal sample you want to trigger, or the perfect point to start mixing out.
So you're not hunting around for those spots live.
Nope. You hit the cue button and boom, you're exactly where you need to be. Preparation is everything here. Makes your library truly usable.
Okay, skills are developing, libraries organized and prepped. We're feeling kind of ready, but maybe not ready for a real audience just yet.
Exactly. There's a crucial step between the bedroom practice and the first public gig. Still happens in private, though.
And that is,
Record and listen. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You need to actually record yourself mixing.
like a full set. Maybe 30 minutes or an hour.
Yeah, a decent length mix. And then, the hard part, listen back to it objectively, critically.
Why is listening back so different from hearing it while you're doing it?
Because when you're actively mixing, your brain is juggling a million things, watching levels, timing beats, thinking about the next track. You're inside the process.
You can't really hear the mistakes objectively.
Not easily. But when you listen back later, cold, oh, you hear everything. The slightly offbeat transition, the moment the bass frequencies clashed, that awkward track selection that killed the vibe.
Ouch. Sounds painful but necessary.
It's the best form of self-critique you can get. It highlights exactly what you need to work on. Brutal, but effective.
Okay, so we've recorded, listened, refined. The mix is sounding pretty tight. Now what? How do people actually find out about you?
Time to build your digital presence. In today's world, you need to be discoverable online.
So sharing those polished mixes.
Yep. Platforms like SoundCloud or Mixcloud are perfect for this. They're like your online demo tape. Promoters, venues, other DJs, they browse these platforms looking for new talent.
Put your best work up there.
Definitely. And then think about your personal brand. The source mentions Instagram as being really key.
For visuals, showing your style.
Yeah, partly. But it's also about building a narrative, connecting with potential listeners or bookers. It contributes to your personal SEO, your search engine optimization. Makes you easier to find when someone's looking for a DJ with your specific sound or vibe.
Right, makes sense. So online presence is growing.
No.
How do we actually land that first proper gig, the actuation in vivo?
Manage expectations. Start small. Don't aim for the main stage at a festival right away.
Local bars, cafes, smaller parties.
Exactly. Places with less pressure. Contact them directly. Be professional in your approach.
What should the pitch be? Hey, let me DJ.
Maybe a bit more structured. Offer a trial set, maybe for free or reduced rate initially. Definitely send them a link to your best recorded demo mix on SoundCloud or Mixcloud.
Show them what you can do.
Yes. But importantly, it's not just about your music taste. Venue owners and promoters value reliability just as much as talent.
So emphasize the preparation.
Absolutely. Your pitch should convey confidence, organization, and technical reliability. Show them you're prepared. Maybe mention you have backup USBs, that you understand how to work with their sound system.
Basically, show them you won't be a technical nightmare for them.
Precisely. If you can confidently promise a smooth, professional, well-prepared set, even if it's your first one, you're much more likely to get that shot. Confidence and preparation are your best calling cards.
Wow, that was a really comprehensive journey. From the why right through to the first gig. Let's quickly recap those pillars that Javier B. emphasizes, the core requirements.
Yeah, 4 main things stand out. First, constant practice, nonstop honing of those technical skills, that muscle memory.
Second.
Active listening, really understanding the music, not just hearing it. That's your foundation for curation.
Third, organization.
Meticulous organization. Your library needs to be an efficient tool, ready for action under pressure.
And finally, the core techniques.
Mastering beat matching and CUing, getting those transitions seamless, using the pre-listen function religiously, especially when starting out, and understanding that EQ is crucial.
It really drives home that becoming a DJ isn't just about buying gear. It's a transformation.
It really is. You go from being a passive consumer of music to someone who actively shapes an environment, an emotion, using sound.
It's about that connection with the audience, ultimately.
That's the heart of it, isn't it? The technical skills, the how, but the why is that emotional connection.
Yeah.
Your library, your mixing, it's all in service of guiding the audience, creating that unique vibe, that shared experience.
Are you just playing songs or are you telling a story?
Exactly. That's the difference. So we'll leave everyone listening with that final question from the guide, slightly adapted. Now that you have this roadmap, the mindset, the gear advice, the techniques, the path forward, what's the very first practical step you'll take today to ignite that passion and start becoming the DJ you want to be?
Yeah, maybe it's just downloading a software demo.
Yeah.
or spending half an hour really listening to a track's structure.
Whatever it is, the journey starts with that first step. So good luck with it.
Absolutely.